Your faith in me brings me to tears, even after all these years. And it pains me so much to tell that you don't know me that way, though my love is rare, though my love is true. I'm like a bird, I only flown away. I don't know where my home is, I don't know where my soul is. I'm like a bird, I only fly away. I don't know where my home is, I don't know where my soul is. Singing is a natural way of channeling our energies. So you want to make sure you balance training and learning with singing and music. Otherwise, you'll be pulled into anger and resentment and jealousy and all those different polarities of feelings. So, dementia and Alzheimer's. I am working with memory today, so you are welcome. If you're wondering why don't I have much lights on, I have become one with nature. This slowly, progressively with my age. And I am also slowing down as I turn 39, inshallah, next week. I hope you will join me on TikTok and YouTube. I haven't made an event yet. I'm just going just by the day. There's no guarantee, there's no events that I'm creating because my life is such that I rest on each branch and I go according to what I feel that day on that branch. So, ongoing training. So, normally I'd be jamming on the guitar, but since I have to complete this training, you are more than welcome to sit, hang out with me while I start the training. I'm gonna be in and out because my hearing is what I rely on mostly. Sometimes I look, but yes, what did I say? Normally I have this light where you can see my face, but I want you to hear and train your hearing because it'll help you when spring comes. So listen to this.
Another thing beyond that, it could be a psychological pain or discomfort. Confusion is a big motivation for acting out. Emotional needs that are related to confusion, if your safety, security, control, if those things are threatened, you're going to act out. If you feel like you're in an unsafe situation, if you feel you're not in a secure situation, if you feel things are out of your control, you're going to be frightened and you're going to act out. So things that you can do if somebody's in psychological pain or discomfort. One thing is, does the individual feel like they're being included? Talk to them. Have a conversation. Especially if there are other people in the house. A lot of persons with dementia get paranoid and they believe that other people are talking about them. So if you include them in the conversation, that kind of alleviates that paranoia. If they feel left out of doing things, you can give them something to do, so they're not just sitting there feeling useless or feeling uninvolved. If you can find them some small task to do so that they feel like they're contributing to something. They might need some reassuring. Just take a few minutes out of your tasks to reassure them of who they are, where they are, who they're with. who you are, what you were doing.
What I'm gonna do right now, because I am quite mellowed out, so I'm gonna lower the volume and I'm just gonna let the slides go, and we can read the slides instead of listening to that the entire time, because this is sunset time. I don't want to give you all any task. That's my thing. If you had dementia and you're running left and right all day, and if you are having Alzheimer and all you're doing is just pacing around, you're just running off of your memory. And many of us are ingrained, especially those in the 60s, 70s, 80s. I know my mom. So this is great. This is a way that I can use, a tool that I can use. But I have to look, how is it for my mother? Will this work on my mother? I know my mom's a cleaning freak. I know my mom's a washing. He always cannot stop. That's how it is. That's the ingranation of, that's what happens during modernization of our society. That's what happened during colonization. People were sent to wars, and they wouldn't stop. Soldiers get up at 6, do this at 7, march, this and that. So they can't stop. Many of you and I, even I went to school. I remember going to school. God bless, my journey, because I had this journey of everything. Even before the internet, I had the opportunity to be homeschooled. So I chose homeschooling because it worked for me. But before that, I went to like a regular uniform school, and it was very strict. So those of you who are watching in other countries, it's a beautiful way to dress. It teaches you that. But if you do that entire lifetime, you shouldn't be dressing up in a uniform in your 70s, 80s, in your 60s even. I believe you should retire and chill, take a cruise, breathe, right? So I respect the training that they're giving me, but I'm also seeing what works for my family, what works for my mom, because I know my mom the best, and I know that she cannot stop. So for her, a relaxing way of treatment would be great, which is what? Just to tell her to chill, because I've never heard my mom tell me that she's happy relaxing. She says, no, I feel useless. No, you should not feel useless for relaxing. The bear that sleeps in the what do you call it? Thank you for the heart me. The bear that sleeps in the, thank you sister, I think you can benefit from this too. If you miss this live, you can always go to my YouTube. I'm talking about ongoing training, especially this week, because I got the orders from my employer to do an ongoing training on dementia and Alzheimer's. So I'm using that training, but I'm also looking at individually, because one medicine does not fit everybody. That's what I learned. Everybody, you can give Siddha Lepa to me, it'll feel different to me. You can give Siddha Lepa to you, it'll feel different. So that's why very important, whatever treatment anybody gives you, be it a doctor, be it a Veda Mahatya, whoever, you want to make sure it fits us. So same thing with the American training. It's great. Hold on, low battery, 1 second. I got 10% left, so we're good. If not, I'll plug in the charger. So in American ways of training is great. They do a lot of research, very understanding. But will it fit my mother 100%? I know that it won't. So that's why very important we merge East and West. This is a time of merging East and West, not a time of dividing. So I am using this. I'm seeing what does my mom do. My mom's main way of thinking is she cannot stop. I have some of those symptoms too, because I am her child, right? But that's why today my videos were morning dancing. Around 2 o'clock, I told myself to relax. I gave myself permission to relax. If you want, you can see in my TikTok as well. I am relearning how to communicate with my inner child and make it more youthful. Because at the end of the day, when we age, we don't want to feel more tired and more. If you're feeling like we're more tired and we are about to burn out, that means we are not aging properly. When we age, you see some aging people, when they age, they are like more stronger than me. I see some aunties walking miles than I can ever walk. Why? Because they are taking good care of themselves. So dementia, Alzheimer, mental health, those kind of things, it's common. Everybody's gonna have it. Nowadays, with the current orders they are putting out daily, everybody's gonna have a mental health problem. It's like everybody's gonna have a scar. Somebody get an email, somebody get it. It's like everybody's going to have that. We cannot help it. But how can we refresh ourselves? This is the year of the snake. So you'll get 10 packages at the door. Do you need all 10? Probably not. You get 10 junk mail in your email. Do you read all 10? No. So you pick which email you want to open, which goes to the junk, right? So same thing. They'll give us 10 training, 20 training. I went to every place, even religious place. Great. I learned from everybody. But finally I decide within me what learning I want to use, what teaching is good, right? Same thing. So with my mom, she has cleaning problem, which is it's not, some people have the other extreme. They don't clean, but a lot of people in Sri Lanka, they have the other extreme. They clean a lot. Everybody from Sri Lanka, I know personally, everybody in my family, they cannot stop cleaning, they cannot stop organizing. That's their go-to place for comfort, which is good. It's very productive. But when you cannot stop cleaning and organizing, it becomes like almost you're not doing any other thing but that. So allow yourself, if you already cleaned and you're looking at it and you see something and you're like, it's a mess, ask someone, because sometimes our brains can fool us. It might not be a mess, but ask your family member, ask your son, or ask your anybody, friend or your husband or wife, if you're married. Ask, is the house messy? Just ask them. And they will be like, no, it looks normal to me. But if you think it's messy when it's actually normal, that means you have overthought about the cleanliness. That means time to take a break, right? Same thing. Because nowadays with social media, we see houses in hotels. We see 5-star, we see 4-star, we see 7-star. And our mind is trained to think the house has to look like a palace. No dust. But we are saying, I'm not saying leave the dust there forever, but there's a limit. If you wipe 7 times a day, that's OCD, that's a different mental health problem, right? So if you are 1 week, your desk is dust, it's fine. Unless you're living in Gaza, there's no need for you to wipe your desk 20 times a day. Because you and I in the Western world, what kind of dust are we getting? We're not getting. I went to Sri Lanka, even no dust. These days, no dust in Sri Lanka. Back in the day when I was studying in Sri Lanka, there were no road. So all the roads were made out of, what do you call it? Red earth. So then you will get dust. But that red earth is not bad for you. It's natural. So if you inhale red earth, it won't kill you. Naturally, if the truck passes on a red earth, if you took it in, it's not as toxic as the chemicals and pollutants we are getting in now. Right? People used to rub red earth and bathe when there were no soap. They took just, and I remember my mom took a stone and she would rub her. Even now, the pumice stone is actually just a stone. All right. We used to, even like my mom, I remember with the well, she would take clothes and hit the cloth on the stone, because that's washing machine. So she had worked very hard. Can you see? In her times, no washing machine, water came through the well. She would hit the clothes. She would have 5 siblings to take after. Schooling was not important in her time. Survival was the most important thing. and I don't blame them because they, it was a different world. And she loved it. She tried to go to school. She told her mom after a while that she got bullied. She didn't want to do schooling. She'd rather be at home, take care of the brothers and sisters, and she did, what do you call it? Like few courses in bridal dressing, cookery, and stuff like that. So she went on that field. Every mom has gone on different field. Everybody's valid. Some might have studied till PhD, valid. Right? So everybody has a thing that they have in the past that they go to during stress time because that's their comfort. That's their. But now nobody told us to relax. No, very hard. Especially people who were born in the 1900s, World War I, World War II, created a lot of destruction. So nobody told them to relax. Everybody get to work. We're going to boom the economy. We're going to rebuild, right? Like Japan. But you saw Japan rebuild. But Japan also has one of the highest rates where people jump in front of the train. My own friend who's from Canada visited Japan and told me when she was taking the train literally in front of her, in person, I'm not even talking about a video, in front of her own eyes, because the stress of working, we are not hamsters on a wheel, and don't ever put hamsters on laboratory wheels to do this. If they are freely running, that's fine. But when you work, what happens? Your brain seeks relaxation. It does not know where to end. It ends the body. So don't go there. Don't end the body. The body will survive. You're breathing. Remember you. Okay? Relax. Calm down. We are going to the future. You have water. You have light. You have friends. You have family. You have chosen family. You have so many things you can do today. So ask those people. So I know now that when my mom starts cleaning and when she starts obsessively cleaning, I tell her, would you like to go for a walk? Because walk, she's older. It's winter. She's at home all the time. But something that holds her back is the news. She cannot stop watching the news. Because for them, it's like a drug. News is like one of the drugs. Dopamine. Knowing. Because the stress response cycle is non-stop. Almost as though they cannot move unless there's a stress. So how can we eliminate that? Can we start moving without the need for stress? Right? Do we need a stress to start running and jogging? No, I don't think so. I think if we are really relaxed and really free, really happy, we will be motivated internally just to take a jog, take a walk. Today I just went and I felt like dancing. I made those videos. So I'm grateful in that way for TikTok and social media. Because one good thing about social media is you can choose what you want to watch. If you all didn't like my YouTube videos, you went to another page. Correct? It was very easy for you to change your mood. If somebody was yelling at someone or I was yelling at someone, I will see people will go. But if I'm training, some people will stay, some people will go. So you all have the option today, what mood you want to pick. So why be in the same cycle? This winter, feel to breathe. Because now, we all, for the past 4 years, we did a lot of work indoors, right? But we never really stepped out. Can you tell me who among you really did more things outside today than you did in like 2018 or 17. Slowly we are doing more, less and less things outside. Because there's a fear of the outside. It's actually, if you look at it psychologically and spiritually, it's just unresolved trauma within. You know the right time to go outside. All right, so don't, especially if you're aging, please find a group or friends or social activity where you try to go outside, even in the winter. Not when it's like slippery slope, but good winter days. Don't become your own prisoner at home. Okay, all right. So I'll play a little bit more on this. So let's listen to more what she has to say. Did I finish this section? Take both, okay? Listen to her also, because I want you all to make your own judgment. Our goal is to come to center. It's not me is right, she's wrong, she's right, me is wrong. No, don't go there. No one is wrong, no one is right. If I'm right, I'm also wrong. If she's right, she's also wrong. What is the center? If you look at, you all have parents, right? Most of you all today grew up with parents, older generation. I have parents. Did you think your mom was right? Did you think your dad was right? They both were right, they both were wrong. Right? So my job is to get you to that place where you can see both and make your own judgment, right? I'm not telling you to be your mom or your dad. You should be your own person. All right? Be your own person. Okay, there we go. Where's the next one?
You're going to be frightened and you're going to act out. So things that you can do if somebody's in psychological pain or discomfort. One thing is, does the individual feel like they're being included? Talk to them. Have a conversation. Especially if there are other people in the house. A lot of persons with dementia get paranoid, and they believe that other people are talking about them. So if you include them in the conversation, that kind of alleviates that paranoia. If they feel left out of doing things, you can give them something to do, so they're not just sitting there feeling useless or feeling uninvolved. If you can find them some small task to do so that they feel like they're contributing to something. They might need some reassuring. Just take a few minutes out of your tasks to reassure them of who they are, where they are, who they're with, who you are, what you are doing, when their loved one will be home, whatever they may need to understand their surroundings. Another thing that can be a contributing factor to problem behavior is a recent change in medication. One little tweak can throw somebody way off. So again, anything you know, anything you see, any changes, make sure you talk to your supervisor and make a note of it, because these are things that need to be followed up on. Other things that can be contributing to problem behavior. There are several listed on here, but I've highlighted those that are most often associated with behavior issues. Of course, any of these can be contributing factors. And also, remember that each individual can have their own triggers, okay? Because we all have our own experiences. But noise levels, activities in the room, agitation in the evening, temperatures, if you're cold or if you're too hot, it can make you angry, or, it can make you act out, it can make you uncomfortable. The number of people in the room, sometimes if there's too many, a person with dementia can get overstimulated, or if the room is too small, or if there's too many people in the room, they can feel trapped in a room. So, and again, don't forget that individuals have their own quirks. So, again, make sure you are sensitive to what the person is experiencing and feeling. Another problem behavior that pops up, people with dementia, is wandering. People with dementia may wander for the following reasons. Stress or fear. The person might wander as a reaction to an unfamiliar environment or a loud noise he or she doesn't understand. Or situation, something out of what they're expecting happens, they might wander off. This can be really a problem if it's somebody who just hits this stage. If you have this individual out on at the store or on an errand, and something happens and they wander off. So be very vigilant. If you think someone may be experiencing any of these symptoms that you are reporting. Sometimes they might think to look for someone else. They get confused and they think they need to go find somebody. Just reassure them, they'll be back. You'll see them in a little bit. Talk to them, try to talk them down, distract, come up with some sort of a common ground that they can agree to, that okay, that's an okay reason why I don't need to go searching for them. If they're bored, see if there's something you can get them to do. They might just be looking to go to the bathroom or for food. So remember to check their basic needs. And sometimes they get lost in their memories and think they're supposed to, go to work or pick up a child after school, even though they haven't done that for decades. So again, these are behaviors that need to be noted and need to be distracted from. So here are some more ways to distract from that. If you're at home, again, make sure the basic needs are met. Get them to do a simple task that gets them to move around, but not where they'd be leaving the home. If you're out in public with someone who might be a wandering risk, avoid busy places. Make sure they go to the bathroom or have something to eat before you go out. Reassure the person. Don't bother correcting them. Oh no, you don't go to work anymore, or your child hasn't been to school in 40 years. You don't need to say things like that. Just say, oh, you don't have to pick them up today. They had the day off, or it's a holiday, or whatever. And then just make sure that you provide supervision and that you have a set routine on what you're going to do when you're out in public. If you have a person with dementia who goes missing, make sure that you have a procedure for that individual. Begin searching immediately. Activate any GPS that individual may have. And only search for 15 minutes before calling 911. That's the recommended guidance. Shadowing is another issue that sometimes.
All right, so we're going to talk about wandering. What she said was correct. I hope you heard all that. So I know with my mother, her memory is very sharp. A lot of people who are older, they're in the flow more than us. Trust me. I've had an older pup, Lucky, lived till she was 17. She moved a little slower, but even an older pup knows normally. I mean, unless they progress very badly, then they can't come home. But if they are talking well, if they know their address, if they know basic things like they can eat on their own and stuff, you know best, right? You know your elderly. But I know my mother, so I know that she can take the bus to a certain grocery store that she goes to, because what that does is that builds independence. I don't prohibit her on good days when she takes the bus, because she tells me she wants to go on her own, and it's in a safe comfort bus. All right, it's a safe, comfortable environment. It's an accessible bus, it's an accessible route. It gets dropped off right in front of her building. The grocery store is right. The bus stop stops right in front of the grocery store. So what that tells her is, even though she is older, she's able to go safely to the grocery store, grab her own groceries. Because think about it. We are in 2025. For me, I loved it 10 days ago when I had too much work. There's an app called GoPuff here, right? Local app. I felt like I've never ordered someone. I always get my grocery. You also, in my older vlogs, I always learned from my mom, pick my own grocery. But the other day, I just couldn't. I was burnt out, and I'm like, I had this grocery list in my head that was burdening me. And I thought, you know what, for once, let someone pick the groceries for me. Because I have this, I think it's from my training when I was younger, because I had to make sure certain things that, like when I worked in retail, when I worked in different environments, even in IT, I had tasks that I had to do, projects that I had to take care of. So when I did that, I was like, I had to be in control, make sure everything's running smooth. So I couldn't let go that someone can get me good grocery. For some reason in my mind, I still think that I'll get the worst grocery, which is not true. Actually, the person picked one of the best produces and sent it to my door. And I was the day I picked up, it was like 2 weeks ago, I think, during COVID, I think I ordered once. I remember now. But after a long time, because you know what, it's ingrained, especially in the Eastern culture, to be stingy, because people didn't have much. But it's okay to be minimal, but come to the center. I told you all, don't go for capitalism, don't go for too much minimalism, right? You see, I told you I'm using natural light. I have some light at home because I can't appear totally in the dark. What figure are you going to see? This is a being that I want you to see, right? So, what was I saying? Important to let go certain tasks. So I asked for groceries. And same thing when my mom said, normally I'm her grocery person. For their house, I pick up the grocery, I buy the grocery, and I try to make it an effort to take her with me so she can pick and choose. That gives her the freedom. Tell her that, let's go to the store. You pick what you like. I'll carry it. You pick it. What that does is stimulates the brain, right? She feels vigor, young. Otherwise, sitting at home every day, we bring the stuff, because think about it, you're in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s. You're still working, the brain is working, right? So we want to make sure we assist them, but not. So that kind of task it's not cleaning. It's like going out, venturing. So doing certain things to take the mind off from news. I cannot stop her from seeing news. Because for her and my dad, news, I don't know, it's like rice, I think, for them. I tried telling them, don't watch too much news. Like, I know what to do. They tell me, I know what to do. I raised you. Where they start the whole, you know the whole, and then I just listen. And I say, I just giving you a reminder. Maybe you should watch something else. So then they have the option of cartoons. So the other day also I got her a new tablet because I saw her eyes. You know, she never asked for stuff, but I saw her eyes and I knew she needed a tablet. She had one before, she gave it away. She's very, one of the things, dementia, Alzheimer people, even we, all of us, are very giving. So as a caregiver, you want to make sure when they give that they are not taken advantage of. Very important, right? Especially with technology. If you sign them in, don't make sure that you don't put their credit card stuff. Delete that because they have Alzheimer and dementia. If you leave their card information and all that, they don't know that the third party, fourth party. They might think if someone says I love you, they might click it and go to a third party and they're like, please put your payment in here because we love you. And then they just want to be loved. They're old, right? Very important. Have someone, even me, even though I'm younger, I have someone that I check in with. Good. I think I have someone that I check in with. You can watch on YouTube if it's better. I'm on YouTube streaming right now. What's the word? Intentionally made the lighting low so you can focus on my words and not my appearance, because there's so much of value. Because somebody asked me a question, they can barely see me. I said I wanted you to focus on my words and not my appearance. So that's why intentionally in this training I dimmed down the lights. So back to where was I? Now I'm getting this. I forgot what I might have Alzheimer's. Somebody can diagnose me at this point. Go through my videos. Any mental health professionals, go through my video and tell me what you can come up with. I will humbly accept it. We all have it, right? So where were we? Oh, somebody dropped that comment and I lost my thought. Thanks for doing that. All right, we're gonna continue the training. If I remember, I don't know. I don't want to go back right now, so we'll just see if I can. Can someone remind me? I don't know. Okay. So yeah, very important. Where were we? We were talking about wandering. See, I'm wandering myself. So the last topic, coping with wandering. Make sure if they go out, they tell you. Like I have my mom telling me, texting me if she's taking the bus when she's home. So I always know before she goes. I always know when she comes back. So there's communication there, morning and evening, right? In between, if they send you something, you just look at it, you affirm it. If it's something that requires attention, you can. But if you know if this is regular behavior, if you know them, their behavior. So there's the normal for everybody, right? So there's a normal for me. If you can tell if someone's in a crisis or someone's in just throwing a tantrum. So you all, when you get to know me, you will know my personality. Some people come in here for the first time. Because they are going through, so that's called projection. Some people might be going through a crisis. They might come in and try to make you feel, what's the word? Make you feel like something's gaslight. That's the word, correct, gaslight. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen with the elderly because they're very sensitive. That's why it's very important. The card. Make sure you remove your cards from any further payments, as we are going to an era where we can trust people and trust them to love you without giving you a penny or without taking a penny from you. All right, they can go there. You just buy your grocery, you come home. All of you watching here, I'm not getting a single like most of the time. I'm not getting a single rose. But I continue. Why? Because that's not why I am here. I am here simply because I love you. I don't require an exchange on any form. Probably just for you to relax today. All right. So we're going to go.
For that individual, begin searching immediately. Activate any GPS that individual may have.
Oh, I think we went through that
and
section.
Only search for 15 minutes.
So in America, when one person goes missing, immediately they start looking. But I've lived in the East. Sometimes people can come back home. So you all do your best judgment. If someone goes missing, do you start search immediately? Do you know them? If it's a child, look for. If it's a minor, absolutely go look for them. But if it's an elderly person, if you have their number and if they've clearly told you that they'll be back from the store in 2 hours, there's no need to tap and tell them that I am at the store, I am right now looking at the soap. There's no need. At that point, they're independent. There's people at the store who can help them. You get what I'm saying? Yes. So go with your own best judgment practices. This is just a guideline, and this is just something free material. There's literally, it's your own thing to do, to free will. How's that? Free will. Do what you will. All right, let's go with this.
That you are reassuring them that everything's okay, that you're there to help. And that you say, pleasant things to them. I'm so glad I'm here with you today. You might need to move things so that they can see you. If you can get them to sit somewhere and do something else that they can see you from where they're seated. You can set a timer maybe and say, okay, I'm going to come in and, sit with you for a few minutes or something like that when the song is over, or sing along with this, and then I'll come in and sing the next one. Sometimes the person may just have extra energy to get out, and so a little exercise could have a calming effect. Or you could give them a snack or something to occupy them.
Good. So that's also true. Let's complete that session. And we have how many more? 3 more parts to knowing dementia. And then we're going to go to communication strategies. We'll probably go into that tomorrow. And then that's it. That sums it up. So let's just finish the 3 more parts today. And I'm going to do less talking. We're just going to do listening. I'm going to call it a training. All right.
Repetitive actions or speech. People with dementia will often repeat a word or statement or question or activity over and over. And although that's harmless for the person, it can be very annoying and stressful to caregivers. Sometimes behavior is triggered by anxiety, boredom, fear, or environmental factors. And I don't know if you've experienced this before with a participant, but there really is no harm in someone saying, what day is it? What day is it? Or what time is it? What time is it? But, on about the 40-second time, it does start to grate on you on some days. So, some coping suggestions is you can try and ignore the behavior or question, but it's usually not too effective. It's a little better if you provide plenty of reassurance and comfort, both in words and touch. try distracting the individual with a snack or activity. Try refocusing the person into an activity such as singing or helping you with a chore. And that could be all different things. If a person can sit at the kitchen table and fold some kitchen towels or something, that's a great help to do. You can place signs throughout the home to serve as reminders, such as dinner is at 6:30 or Lois comes home at 5, to remove anxiety if there are certain events that they're repeating, like when does Lois come home? When does Lois come home? Is Lois coming home yet? Or, if they have certain things that they're repeating. Some people give, little index cards that say dinner is at 6:30, and they can put it in their pocket. And if they keep saying something, they say, "Oh, take that card out of your pocket. What does it say?" There's little tricks and activities you can try if this becomes a serious issue. Another problem behavior, understanding why a person refuses care. The person sometimes does not understand what they're being asked to do. The request we're making doesn't fit with the person's standards and preferences. The person feels he or she is being talked down to. The person is misinterpreting the situation or environment. Trust issues. If a person with dementia refuses food, he or she may have difficulty using utensils, making decisions, or seeing and recognizing food. The person might be unwilling to take medication because he or she may have forgotten what it is for.
I'm gonna take note of that. That is actually very important, because I could actually use those. So there are things that she's saying that I need to remind. There's things that I know, but I need to be reminded. That's why I'm very grateful for ongoing training. We get this every 6 months or so, because there's influx of different things, emails, deliveries, life, and then breaking news, surprise. Because of all that stuff, we forget our basic routine. These are our basics. So if we forget, we jot them down, do what works. You all take notes on the laptop, good. For me, my generate, I wrote, for me, I'm better with writing. So I'm gonna write it down. Because Monday is when I see her again. And every week I write down things that I'm gonna do or check in with her. Sometimes there's that much. It's routine, I know, laundry, cleaning. But when it comes to certain things, I'm gonna remember. Appointments, I remember, right? But very important. This I'm gonna have to be better at. I want to make sure that I train better, because I can come off as authoritative, and my elderly does not like us to be authoritative. Even younger people, even I don't like it when someone's authority makes me feel like I'm less than, right? Sometimes it's something we picked up from our training, our history, or our jobs. So I want to be better. I want to say, I want to be a better listener. Even if I don't understand. Because now with the TikTok and YouTube, people say things most of the time we don't understand. But I learned better to let them speak if I can be mute for a bit, right? So yesterday somebody muted. I went to their live and I was having a good time. And then suddenly they muted me. And then I took it in and I still stayed in their live. I stayed. Because I was very intrigued by their action. I was only saying something that I felt, It wasn't anything bad. I said something that I felt in the moment, but it might have triggered them, because we don't know what experiences people have gone through. So I only said, what was I said, good change is coming. Just get through. Oh yeah, I said, good change is coming. Just get through the current difficulty. So I don't know what happened within them. They muted me. Maybe they just needed to take it in. Sometimes people mute you because they just want to process that. So there's other different ways. If someone blocks you, I also block, right? Sometimes. I will tell you, as someone who has blocked people, I did that not because I hated them, because we are not in alignment. Sometimes we're not in alignment. Then I would unblock them if I feel like it. But most of the time, once it's over, it's over. But if I get muted, I didn't get blocked. So do what works for you. Do what works for you. Right? Because at the end of the day, the person from the other side of the screen is not going to reach in and do your dishes. They're not going to reach in and pay your bills. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt. That's my mantra. I told one of my friends even beginning of this winter, even before a few weeks ago, I knew this was coming. Every winter, take it with a grain of salt. Okay. All right. So be a better listener. Don't make others feel like, why do they keep sending me invites? Hold on, I'm so sorry. Let me just tell this person. Let me just tell him, because he keeps calling me. Hey Prince.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, you don't have to call me sir. It's nice to see you. Prince, I am doing a training right now on YouTube. Okay, so I will finish the training. I will come to see you. I'm sorry, I cannot join you in a match today. Okay,
Okay, sir.
How are you, by the way?
Sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir. I'm fine, sir.
You're fine. How is your day?
We thank God, sir. We thank
Good,
God, sir.
good. Okay. Did you eat, sleep well?
Yes, sir.
Good,
Yes, sir.
good. I saw you playing earlier this morning with some friends in a match.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
it's
sir.
good. Keep up the good work, okay? Take
Yes, sir. I
breaks.
appreciate it.
Take breaks. When you need, anytime you need break, take a break. People will come slowly, all right? I care about you. And tomorrow's Sunday, right? You go to church on Sunday, or you pray at home?
Now I go to church.
You pray. Okay. Jesus loves you and I love you too. Okay? I will always love you. Remember that.
Thank
Okay?
you, sir.
All right.
Yes, I know, of course.
Yes.
I know, of course.
I will visit you even if it's a month or two. I remember you. I know your face.
Okay,
I know your heart. You're in the
Yes,
right
sir.
place. Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
All right, Prince Sugar. I'll have to continue my training.
Okay, sir.
All
Thank you.
right. Bye. So he's from Nigeria. He's a really nice person, content creator, and he's been sending me invites non-stop. I declined twice, 3 times, but when it keeps coming, I don't want to keep declining because might be something. So I just wanted to kind of tell him, because I'm not in playing any match. If you guys have noticed, in the past 2-3 days, I haven't turned on any match. Let me turn it off. Actually, I forgot to turn off the match option. For those of you who know about TikTok battles, 1 second. So this weekend, it's a relaxing weekend. Given the workload we are given, we should, if no one's gonna give us an email saying you're allowed to relax now, right? Everyone's gonna email us saying, I'm trying to sell you something, click on this link or something. So we have to learn through our own experience. Very easy. If no one emails you, I tell you this much. That's why I have my light dim today. Sunrise, sunset is a great tool they've used entire lifetime. When them in East are working, we are sleeping. When over here we are sleeping, they are working night and day, sunrise, sunset. So my schedule, sunrise, sunset. This training, I feel relaxed. I do extra little training for free because why? I love you and I'm trying to tell you because I also myself 2 years ago look at my YouTube videos. Day, night content creation. Because I had no guideline. I saw somebody doing something about a product. I'm doing a video about a product. I saw they email me saying, get this sample. You might be an affiliate. I did that. Charred. Some young individual told me, bro is charred. It's just, when I got that comment, I took it to heart. I'm like, oh my God, that's a mirror. That person, I was very grateful. That's why we had a lot of these things. When somebody says like even the most evil comment, sometimes you're grateful. You're like, this is a reminder. Like, bro is charred. That means bro is done. Bro needs to take a break. Right? So that's when I thought, no, I gotta switch it up. We are getting too many workloads. We need to take care of ourselves better and we can take care of those we love. So lights will be dim. That's the intention. If I turn on the light from through the winter in the evening, please remind me because I will need that reminder. All right. So don't. What was the thing I was gonna take notes when she said? Don't talk down to others, all right, and don't make others feel like they are talked down to. And I can't teach the elderly to speak because I can't teach my mom to speak. She has her way of going on because they're so. I can't change her ways. I can change my ways at this point. So I can be a better listener. And then I don't want to feel like I'm talking down to her by giving her any advice. I can gently approach her and be like, maybe you can try this. So I need to better at that. Because culturally, we are not given that type of sensitivity training. We are just told what to do. We were not given options. So that's one good thing she's teaching. Trust issues, yes. Trust issues. This food, the other day she had a problem. The other day, when she was here, I don't deny her to go to the kitchen and make whatever she wants. She's very good cook. I mean, like, she's been amazing cook. But sometimes they watch something on TikTok or YouTube and suddenly they get inspired and they go and make it, which is good. But in the process, she has high blood pressure, right? But she put in a ton of salt and she made extra and she gave some to me. And I tried, I couldn't take it in. I said, Mom, this is a lot of salt. You probably shouldn't put this much in. And she's like, I'm sorry. She was very apologetic. I'm like, I'm okay. I didn't eat it, right? Because sometimes in our cultures, we eat things I used to do that too. We eat things that we don't want to eat because we are afraid they might be hurt. But I am also older. I have to be well to take care of her. So normally my diet is a bit different. Her diet is a bit different. But I have this thing where I remind her, check in, double check what she does. And some days she can, it was only that one day, I think it was because too cold, her processing in the brain, she couldn't differentiate the salt. So I didn't eat it, but I was just afraid that she had ingested it because it was too much salt. And she was saying, no, it's okay. And I said, please watch your salt, especially if you have high blood pressure and stuff. And so learning to speak more gently, learning to speak according to what she needs, I'm trying my best, you know. We are only human at the end of the day. Okay, so when it came to unwilling to take medication, mashallah, none of those problems. She takes her medication, she has it organized. So that's why I say, even with elderly, some of their traits are very good, like cleanliness, it's clean, organization skills are on T, medication taking on time. So we are very grateful for things that they are good at. Please compliment. All right. If you see your mother and father doing something good, even if they are older, please compliment. Don't just pick out, because in our culture, especially, I would say, there are bad things in the Eastern culture also, right? Growing up, they only complained certain things. But when it came to praising, acknowledging, and giving compliments, I learned that in the West. The first person to say to me, I am proud of you, was not from my family. I will tell you that much. The first person who said that, the person that's why I couldn't forget that. That was my, I'll get to that later. It's not good. All right, we'll talk about it since you and I know, we are close, we are human. Was my ex-girlfriend. This was over 10 years ago. When I was dating back then, over 10 years. That's the first person who told me, I am proud of you. I don't even think I did something that great, but I think for some reason they said, because of they knew my journey, and they said, they affirmed me. They said, I am proud of you. So that was an American, you know. She's also an immigrant parents' background. But a lot of us in the immigrant community in the Eastern, maybe now things are changing, but we weren't accustomed to our parents complimenting us, recognizing our, even like tiger moms and all that. My mom wasn't a tiger mom, but you all know there are some tiger moms who, you get these grades, you get this on the T, you gotta be a doctor, you gotta be an engineer. So all that compounding, no acknowledging, no complimenting. So I'm grateful. My mom affirmed me, but I'm learning to affirm her through my own experience. And it's a wonderful experience. I think yesterday she sent me a text saying that something sweet, which is great. My mom has always been kind to me. But let us, as people who have not grown up feeling, what's the word, affirmed by our families, be more accepting of affirmation. How's that? Yes. All right. Let's complete part 7. I'm gonna speed it up a little because it's almost 7 o'clock. I'm just gonna play this out and we're gonna go to bed. Thank you for watching. All right, here we go. Where's the sound? Not talking. I don't know why I don't hear anything. Oh, I think it's just a slideshow at this point. There's no all right. All right, 2 more parts to complete.
Catastrophic reactions is another problem behavior.
Sometimes, like, I freak myself out with these videos because I didn't turn down the volume.
We run into with persons with dementia, and these are excessive responses or emotional outbursts that seem out of proportion to the situation. So it doesn't seem to fit what's going on. That's way overblown. But it could be a response to a present event or be to one of the past. It could
What's the
trigger
response, Sam?
something that reminds them.
Hands at the door. Summer. Maybe that may be Amazon for somebody else. There's no need to bark. Alright, we're all good. Alright, she's guarding the door. Alright, you get to do the guard duty. I'm not gonna interrupt you. You can bark. Alright, did you see who it was? Yeah. Okay, alright, you approve? Good.
From their past, and that's what the reaction is really in response to. Or it just could be that was the final straw. And so now all the frustration that they've been feeling over the last month is coming out right here and now because, they dropped the spoon or something trivial. That doesn't seem like a big deal. And here they're having this huge blow up. Whatever the cause may be, when they do have a catastrophic reaction, here are some different ways to cope with that. Because sometimes physical violence may accompany catastrophic reactions. You may need to remove yourself or the person from the situation. Make sure that you're considering safety for the both of you. And try to recognize ahead of time if you see agitation building up. Don't push things. If you notice someone is already starting to exhibit characteristics of agitation. If they're pulling at their clothes, if they seem fidgety, if they're, grimacing, if you just, whatever to be, those are some signs I recognize that this person is not in a good mood or is about to boil over. But here are some things that you could do. Maybe get out of the way and observe the person from a distance. Do not confront or ask them to explain themselves. Don't get into an argument or a power struggle. Keep your body language non-threatening. Look open. Provide frequent reassurance. Don't take it personally. And calmly call the person by name. Try to establish eye contact and reintroduce yourself and appeal to, calmness, quietness. Okay, the last thing we're going to look at today are some ideas for safety in and around the home for people with dementia. Okay, when it comes to lighting, changes in levels of lighting can be disorienting. So we want to create an even level by adding extra lights in entries, outside landings, and areas between rooms. Here are some other tips. Establish 2 times the recommended level of lighting in the home. And we mentioned again that at the very beginning of things that happen when people age, you're going to need increased lighting. Number 2, use daylight as much as possible, keeping curtains open during the day. Increased lighting is necessary to compensate for aging and dementia-affected eyes. Use table lamps or wall-mounted lights versus a large overhead light. Match lighting to the natural cycle of day to night to help circadian rhythm, to help with participants' sleeping patterns. Okay, so there's some tips on lighting. Review. For persons with dementia, when it comes to lighting, which is better, less or more? And the correct response would be more. And number 2, what are 2 facts that you are reminded of about lighting by the images below? Well, one is that you should use natural lighting. That's the open windows. For one thing, it enhances the artificial lighting in the home by using the sun. And 2, it helps using the regular pattern of night and day to help with sleeping patterns. And the second picture reminds us to use lamps and wall lighting rather than harsh overhead lights, which are a little more glaring for people as they age. All right, let's try another one. Color and contrast. Replace switch plates and any useful socket plates with ones that are a contrasting color to the wall. Use plain dishes with colored placemats or tablecloth, plastic for easy cleanup. Contrast bedding with the color of the floor. Okay, so there's some ideas about color and contrast. Switch plates, dishes, and bedding. Review. For persons with dementia, which place setting is preferred? A or B? The correct response would be A, because there is a contrast which makes it easier to see the plate. Basic safety proofing. Remove locks from internal doors. Leave doors to most commonly used rooms wide open. Keep household water temperature at or below 120 degrees. Temperature-activated flow devices are made for sinks and showers tubs. Place colorful stickers in a white kitchen or bathroom sink basin to improve depth or vision perception. So, move locks, leave doors open, keep household water temperature, stickers for depth perception. More, my goodness. Tape down throw rugs or remove them. Stairways have at least one handrail that extends past the first and last steps. Remove poisonous plants and plastic fruit from the home that may be mistaken for food. Install smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors in or near the kitchen, furnace, and sleeping areas. Check frequently. Okay. No throw rugs. Handrails on stairs. No poisonous plants or plastic fruit. Use smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors. When safety proofing a home for a person with dementia, which of the following items would you get rid of? A, plastic fruit. B, wrinkly throw rug. Trick question, A and B. Oh, I hope you got that one right.
All right, she's right, correct. Let's listen to her. It's the last session. And then we're gonna call it a night.
Dangerous item. Locking up medications may be important to stop a person with memory loss from accidentally taking too much medicine. Use locked cabinets for alcohol, cigarettes, matches, power tools, and other dangers. Also, pay attention to household cleaners and other toxins that may be used in the wrong way. Lock away all firearms and ammunition. Okay, medication, alcohol, cigarettes, matches, power tools, household cleaners, toxins, firearms. Name at
So
least.
she got a good point. I think we can use that even if we're not elderly and older or younger. Anybody should not be consuming. I don't consume alcohol. I don't consume cigarettes. When I was younger, I did experiment when I was in my early adulthood. But I learned if you all have experimented, I want you all to know that for me that wasn't the path. So that's why I have my spiritual teachings and the way that that's why I find my balance. But you all, I think, given what we are all going through now, we can let go of those lifestyle of cigarettes, alcohol, and things that give us a temporary hit. We can find natural ways of feeling the flow. Okay, so, and I'm very grateful. That's one thing. Like, we don't need to lock up alcohol or any cigarettes in my household because my mom, my parents they don't, given our religion, being a Muslim, we don't have those things in our household. So I can gladly say that's not a problem for us. So there are good things about religion that limits us and disciplines us from reaching to certain, because it might be a spiritual need sometimes what we need, and people were told to go for this and that, right? So to each their own, but especially if you're a caregiver and that person, you have to make sure, like kind of like if you're in a hospital, you're a nurse, you can't be giving, because your patient wants alcohol, you can't be giving them beer, right? Like, so you want to take care of one another. So same thing, if you are with someone who is a recovering person or something, you want to make sure you follow instructions, do what their doctor says, and give them a better habit. Maybe draw, maybe write, scribble, maybe watch a funny movie, something that'll keep their mind off of using the same substance. Okay. All right, so she's got a good point there. And everybody, lessen destruction to your bodies and the environment, the better you will live. Trust me. Replace any toxins with a tree in the house. Go out there, buy a nice small plant. I actually didn't buy a plant for this new place. The older house, I had a plant, and then I put it back in nature. That's one of the things I want to do for myself. Even I looked around today, I'm like, I have no plants in this house, and it's going to be quite a long winter, so I'm going to get a plant. That's it. So we're going to replace the toxins with oxygen. Toxins, replace it as much as you can. We still have like what's that, Fabuloso and stuff. Well, sometimes we use it. So she's not in the stage where she doesn't know what's a chemical. But if you know, your parents don't know the difference between chemicals and household items that are others, then use vinegar. Use something that's not toxic. So even if they accidentally consumed it, it's just vinegar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there, we know now there's so many things that we can use instead of toxic sprays and stuff, right? Thank you. Welcome, Jeff.
Items that should be locked in a locked cabinet where a person with dementia lives. Medication, alcohol, cigarettes, matches, power tools, household cleaners, other toxins, firearms, ammunition.
I would include candles. Like in our household, we light candles. So especially, you're someone who does aromatherapy and stuff like that, you'd light candles, you'd light sage. So you want to keep, if you want to make sure, you ask them, did you blow out the candle? Right? Did you turn off the stove? Like some of the things, like my mom, she has difficulty turning off the stove. She always leaves it on. So we have a big sign sometimes that says, then I always make sure that my dad checks it. They both check on each other. One good thing is they have each other to check on the stove. Which is why I have to check my own stove. So it can vary what you might wanna, the things that she's listed here. It fits a certain lifestyle, but it's a good guideline. But make your own, like what's happening in your own home, what needs to be kept away. Maybe it's a device, right? Like maybe it's a device, right? Like maybe it's a device. Literally, I should listen to that too.
Bathroom. Change the flooring or eliminate the shine when it may be mistaken for being wet. Change the toilet seat to a bright or contrasting color. Consider a raised seat for ease and safety. Have the same towels available and placed prominently in the same spot. Use non-slip mats, a shower or bath seat, and install grab bars for the tub, shower, and toilet. Okay, so careful about shiny floor finishes, contrasting toilet seats or raised seats, familiar towels in familiar spots, mats, bath seats, grab bars. Review. Contact blank if you recognize a need for any of these items or others in a place where a person with dementia lives. You would contact your supervisor, who would then contact the community care unit.
So since you guys can't see the image, they say if this person with dementia might need a higher toilet seat, right? If you're elderly, you can't, like in places like Asia, sometimes they don't even have a commode. They have something that you step on the floor. So elderly people don't have the same mobility normally, right? Don't have the mobility of a 5-year-old or 20-year-old. So we have accessible tools or seats. So toilet seat, higher toilet seat, a rail. You all can Google a rail for them to hold on to when they sit in the toilet. Because who's going to be there in the toilet unless you have a nurse or somebody that's going to assist you to sit. But normally they like to be independent. Like, don't come in the bathroom unless it's really bad. Then you might go in there. They're like, don't come. I'm good on my own, right? So they have a railing. They can hold it, sit. Have you ever used the accessible bathroom? They used to call it disabled bathroom. I don't like that word, but it's just an accessible bathroom where it's much more larger. A person with a wheelchair can go, and use it safely and to transfer themselves. Let's say somebody has a wheelchair. I have a friend with a wheelchair, so they had to hold to the railing. They have to lift themselves up, put themselves on the toilet seat. So that railing is the one that will help them. Otherwise, they have to touch the toilet seat and sit on the commode. So those things are helpful. If your parents are elderly, and if you have a grandmother at your, even you can even do this in your home. It doesn't matter where you live. You can go and buy one of those railings. And even if you all, I know even younger folks who have, who are chronically ill these days, you might need a little lift up to sit in the toilet, something to hold on to. Better than holding your phone. Hold something sometimes, it's a little support. So hold on to that, a little railing, right? So, and then for the bathtub, very important, like my mom has it. She does not step in the bathtub without this, like a non-slip rubber thing where it's very important. That way, when soap goes or something, they never slip. You want to make sure, if you're elderly or young, especially here in the winter season, I want to remind all of you, watch the steps you take when you go outside. Try to step on grass, all right? From walking the dog, you all know, if you have a paw friend, you all know it's safer to walk on grass than to walk on thin ice or unsalted pavements. I'm talking about specifically those of us who are affected in the winter. So put your foot on the grass. It's also good, beneficial for your spirit. There are days when it's really nice. I do this personally. When it's like 40-50 degrees out, I would go to the park with some, and I would take my shoes off, even in the winter, and I would walk or run in the grass. Because what it does, it charges the ions, they're positive. I'm grounding myself, right? You all can look it up. It's like earth, because we are always indoors in our car, and then we wear rubber shoes anyway, or we wear like boots. And then our toes don't really breathe unless we are home. In home, some of you all wear socks and whatnot. So because till spring to, from late fall to spring, our feet don't touch the ground literally, right? Like the earth. So find a warmer winter days. I do this every winter. Warm winter days when I go to the park with Summer. My paw friends taught me that I should ground myself, so I go for a little walk with, where it was Lucky before, with Summer. What that does is the rhythm of the earth cycle, I become one of it. So I'm now not afraid of the winter. You can be, because some people might think, oh, your skin melanated, you can survive the winter. Absolutely. We all, regardless of our color, we can survive anywhere on earth. We can survive. We can climb Mount Everest. We can actually, fun fact I'll give you. The two person that climbed Everest from Malaysia were melanated, dark-skinned people. They were the first two people to climb Mount Everest. They were Mohandas. You can look them up. So they were very dark. They were dark-skinned, of Indian heritage. They climbed Mount Everest. So never ever think certain things, it's only for these people, that people. And if you're a white person, maybe it's time for you to go to Asia and work with the earth there. I know wonderfully some of my friends who are British have gone and lovely settled down. They have not brought any, because we always think when they come they're trying to colonize. No, they're not. All right, they're good people from Britain and America who genuinely just go there and they just want to start a family, live the simple life. She's not building castles. She's not, this is one thing we have to come as people. I want to just say, they are good people, regardless of color, white or black, okay? And we cannot hold grudges over things that has happened in the past. There's always been good people in the continuation of our legacy of humankind. I'm just going to say humankind. I'm not going to say mankind. Humankind. There's a reason why it was put kind there. Kindest creatures we are, right? So, white folks, I'm speaking to you. If you feel unsafe in this region at this point, follow your heart. Go to the region that you feel safe. It might be India, it might be Indonesia, it might be Bali. I wouldn't be surprised that east goes to the west, west comes to the east. I wouldn't be surprised because there's a reason why we were born, energetically brought here. I know that because I followed the direction. I'm like the turtle. I followed the direction of my antenna, right? The turtle hatches and then goes, swims, but knows as a radar to come back home. So same way, if you were born here and you're like, I cannot align with this place. If you're called to go to where I was born in Sri Lanka. If you, a white person, are called to go to Sri Lanka or India or Nepal, please go there and know that my people will take care of you. Do not listen to anybody. My people will take good care of you. Just like when I came here, I'm alive today because you all took care of me. I have a beard today because you all take care of me. I lost my hair today because I learned something from you, right? Look at the bright side. I have seen luxuries today because you took care of me. So same thing, if you want to see something different, all right? If you're like, I want to experience minimalist, you want to experience to walk with just a summer dress with slippers and you just want to walk in a t-shirt and short, you're like, I'm done. Please go. I will hook you up, as in there will be people from the moment you arrive at the airport till you go home, no matter your economic status, Mother Earth will take care of you. Believe in synchronicity, okay? Don't go thinking there's not enough. When I came to America, I didn't have much money, but I didn't have that mindset there, who's gonna take care of me, where will I go? No, I was open. Abundance called me and somehow it worked out. So same thing, when you go there, trust in that fire. If there's a fire that's sending you from here to a different region, take it as a torch and walk. Like how in the cave, you know, in the back in the day, in the cave, all you had was a torch to kind of walk your way through. Now we have maps and stuff, but you just took the next step, thinking where. Back then we didn't even have road maps. Somebody said take the I-90 down to this, take it. You had to remember and go. Now you have so much of information. You just have to decide. Go. If you like it, stay. If not, come back. But at least take a vacation. All right? You must. Because there's something I'll tell you. There's a transformation that should happen within you if you were born in this land and you've never experienced living in a different region. Do it at least for a year. You can see on YouTube people from UK, people from America gone to Cambodia, Thailand, South Africa, even Kenya and Ethiopia. Mingle with those and find your chosen family. You love it. You make you a richer person for Earth. And I'm not talking monetarily. You'll be a richer person for Earth. Don't think because now we know money can only buy so much. That's why we're all denouncing certain capitalistic, we can only buy so much. It's not fulfilling, right? The hedonic cycle. But go be rich for Mother Earth. That's it. Okay, all right. I'm going to complete this training. We're going to leave.
Coordinator for the managed care organization. And they would make sure that these things are put into place if needed. All right, bedroom or nighttime anxiety. Use a nightlight and or a bedside Use a nightlight and or a bedside lamp with a touch base. Floor sensors are available that will activate lights. Position the bed for person to see the toilet during the night. Leave the bathroom light on. Consider a bed that is height adjustable. Be cautious with electric blankets, heating pads, etc. if used. Keep controls out of reach. Use a nightlight. Move the bed to see the toilet. A bathroom nightlight. Consider adjustable beds. Careful with electric blankets and heating pads. Review. Persons with dementia often complain of being cold or chilled. Is it a good idea for them to have an electric blanket or an electric throw, etc., to keep warm? Well, that's kind of a trick question. Actually, no. Not if they have access to the controls, is what it said on the previous slide. Because a person with dementia may not understand how to adjust the controls. And if the controls are adjusted incorrectly, an electric blanket or throw can get too hot and cause burns when used over an extended period of time on thin and fragile skin. And sometimes the elderly will not sense this burn immediately. So persons with dementia are not supposed to have electric blankets or electric throws if they can control the controls. If they have access to the controls, they are not supposed to use electric warming devices because it puts them at a high risk of burn. Living room, family room. Ensure seating is comfortable and at an appropriate height for sitting and standing. Place the remote in visible reach. Keep them in a designated place. Place items that trigger positive memories in plain view and at eye level. Increase lighting. Place lamps where safe. Avoid the use of extension cords. Which is the most appropriate seat for someone who is elderly? A, B, or C?
It's B or C.
And the answer would be C.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Because it is at a good height and has arms for ease in standing. Okay, kitchen. Keep surfaces clutter-free. Leave out those items used daily. Label cabinets and drawers with pictures of what is inside. Consider removing cabinet doors altogether. Use safety knobs on the stove. Auto shut-off devices that can be installed. Oh, there are auto shut-off devices that can be installed on stovetops as well. Disconnect the garbage disposal and install a drain trap to catch what may otherwise become lost and clog the plumbing. So, clutter-free surfaces, label cabinets and drawers, remove cabinets, cabinet doors, use safety knobs, auto shutoffs, and garbage disposals disconnected. How many improvements can you identify in the second picture?
It's clutter-free. just looks much
They've
brighter.
removed the clutter.
Yeah.
They've removed some cabinet doors. They've improved the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
They have contrasting colors for the cabinets and the knobs and handles, which were on an earlier slide, but still. Okay, we've come to the end of our presentation. Our closing comments here are, first off, to observe. Keep your eyes and ears open for potential signs of dementia. Be aware of do's and don'ts for caring for persons with dementia. Communicate, speak with, and listen to the person with dementia. Record, keep good notes and accurate task sheets, and discuss. Talk with your supervisor whenever you have a question or concern. And thank you so much for listening to this presentation.
Thank you. Actually, even though this is a recorded thing, I take everything with the flow. So I'm very grateful for all the teachings that you have given me. From the beginning of time, I have taken you very seriously. And I apologize for the times that I never listened to you seriously. I hope that we can grow and come to an understanding of a better space for coexistence. Alright, okay. So I'm gonna finish section, and I think that's it. So now for today, it's 7 p.m. Oh my goodness, I am in the flow. 7 p.m. on the dot. So like I said, intentionally, it is time for me to end the presentation or the training. I hope you will join us tomorrow.